Welcome to Memoirs of a Millennial. On today's episode, we chat with Silvana, owner-operator of 2 cafes here in the Brisbane CBD. We discuss Silvana's journey on moving to Australia, learning the coffee and hospitality industry, purchasing her first cafe, expanding and opening her second cafe, and how to run and operate a successful business in 2024. We also discuss how she navigated operating a cafe through COVID whilst being stuck on the other side of the world. So stick around, have a listen, and I hope you enjoy.
Hey.
Welcome, Silvana, the Queen of Colombia. How are you going?
I'm good, thank you.
That's good. So today we're going to talk about your cafes and your little career here, and shops and things like that. So first up, you moved to Australia in 2013.
Yes.
Yeah. What was life like in Colombia before you moved here?
Before I moved here, I was in Colombia studying law to be a lawyer, but it was a bit tough for me. University was very strict, and I needed to learn English first to continue there. And life was good, but I was very immature and I was a bit too spoiled. So I didn't do much there. So it was a time to do something different. That's why I came here.
Yeah. Did you have to learn English even though you were doing a degree in Colombia?
Yeah, I have my basic, but I needed more. I needed more because everything, all books, everything was in English already.
True.
Yeah.
So that means you moved here 20, 21? Like how old are you?
I arrived here when I was 18.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. And then I turned 19 like 2 months later after I moved.
Was that scary?
No.
I've
always been very independent and adventurous. And I just wanted to leave.
Yeah.
I wanted to come here and be by myself.
Did you come here by yourself?
By myself.
Yeah. What made you choose Australia? Like, did you visit here first or?
Yes. So I came here in 2011 because I had an uncle here he lives here still, and I had a cousin. So my cousin was here as an international student as well. And he basically told me like, come here is better. I was going to go to USA, but I was under the age there. So it was going to be very boring for me.
Oh, yeah, no drinking.
Nothing. Yeah, so I said, okay. So when I came here in 2011 is when Brisbane was flooded.
Yeah.
And then it was in January because we came for the Australian Open because my dad is a fan. So I came with my dad and my brother. So we came for holidays, visited. And then Brisbane was nothing to do.
Bad.
Yeah.
That's a bad time to visit.
Very bad. So we have to go to Melbourne and Sydney. And we were there most of the holiday because Brisbane was very bad. Then we came back to Brisbane because of flight depart from here. And it looks like an old town, no people. It looks bad. So then when I was picking the city to come to Australia to study English, obviously Brisbane was the first option because my family was here. But also my dad said, oh, Brisbane looks like a very boring, quiet town because what we saw on those times. So I picked it. But then I came here, and for me, this is a big city because I came from a very small city in Colombia.
Yeah, okay. So it's still a big jump. Yeah, and to be fair, like when you came, that's not what Brisbane was like.
Yeah, no.
Because everything was shut. Homes were flooded. Like half the town was flooded.
And dirty.
Yeah. It would have stank too.
Yeah, and my uncle used to live very far away. So we were just like, remember the train station and everything. It was like boring. Yeah. But then I arrived 2 years later, and I love it straight away from day one. I love Brisbane. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Brisbane is fun.
It is fun. I love it.
How different, I mean, obviously it is different, but like how different is it like culture from Colombia to Australia?
Way different.
Was it hard to adjust?
It wasn't that hard to adjust for me because I'd always been traveling, but it's way different. It was more like enjoying the culture, no myself adapting into it. I have a few things that I have to adapt, like being on time because I was always late. Some other things, but I was more enjoying the calm here, the good culture here. I think in Colombia, it's fun culture, but we still need to be more. I'm very organized, and I mash more with the culture here than there.
Yeah. What are some big differences?
It's a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Well, it's pros and like let's say in Colombia, we are more passionate. We are more like attached to our family, like forever. Like forever. You see people of 40, like if you single and you see 35, 40s, they still live with the mom. It's normal there.
Yeah.
And when here, people is not that attached to the family, be more cold on that side. But also in Colombia, the people is not very loyal. When here, everyone is very loyal and compromise, maybe in a relationship, things like that. So it's good things and bad things in both cultures. I love both of them, but I'd rather be here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can bring the parts that you like with you here
Exactly.
and then adapt to the parts here.
More respectful people here, more tolerant.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, follow rules. When over there is messy.
Yeah,
Very
right.
messy,
Bit chaotic.
yeah, be chaotic. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you do for work once you moved here? And then how was your English? Still like entry?
When I arrived here,
Yeah.
I was pre-intermediate. So like it's elementary and then it's pre-intermediate. So I was very, very like not bilingual at all. And yeah, my English wasn't good. I started learning then. My first job, thanks of my dad's support, I didn't have to work straight away. So I started working when I was like 5 months here in a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't as good.
No.
It wasn't as good. It was, yeah, the owners were like an Indian family. They were paying me cash and it was nothing an hour.
Classic.
Yeah, but it was my first job, like no experience, and I couldn't even understand things. Like
Yeah. How did you go? Were you doing orders and stuff or were you?
I was like delivering food,
Yeah.
but sometimes I have to take orders, but it was so bad,
That would have been difficult.
so difficult.
Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah.
I forget, not as much anymore, but when I was younger, you forget that like it's some people's second language. And so you got to like put your hat on and go, oh, if I moved to Colombia, I would have to learn Spanish and do all the things in a completely different language. And it's scary. Like for me, that'd be scary. Yeah. Challenging, scary.
Yeah, work was but I stayed there. I stayed there for like 4 months. Yeah. And I learned a lot. Yeah.
And then did you stay in hospitality?
No. Oh yes, actually yes. Then I changed. I got a job as a babysitter. So that was amazing because it was beautiful Australian family, three beautiful girls. I learned lots of English with them.
You could learn that. You could do their school stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't do homework,
No.
but yeah, they have the girls. They had like very good English, like no many slangs, and so it was very good for me to learn. And I also stay in hospitality. I was working in a coffee shop. That's how everything started. And I was working in Guzman and Gomez and Eagle Street, Riverside. Obviously,
Yeah.
all Colombians were
Everybody
there.
was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
you have to be in Guzman and Gomez to start your process in
Yeah.
Brisbane.
It's like a rite of passage.
Exactly, yeah, which is good actually because Guzman is very strong training, so it was good for making myself be fast and all of that, consumer service, all of that.
Yeah. And then you get to sort of, because a lot of the staff do speak Spanish there. So you can do Spanish and English and like learn off each other and stuff.
Yeah, I was lucky that I was one of the ones with the best English, so I was always at the till. I didn't have to do much cleaning or cooking.
Yeah, you got the easy jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So in 2019, you opened your first cafe.
Yes.
Yeah. What were you thinking about that for a while? Was that like, did you want to save up and plan for it, or what inspired you to do that?
No, so I had my son in 2018, so in January. So the whole 2018, I was at home, and I was desperate to go back to work. But I said no, I take a year to be home, and then when 2019 started, I went back to do some shift in the cafe that I used to work for all my studies. I went to university here, and during uni, I worked in a coffee shop. I was the manager for like almost 4 years there. So I went back there to do some shifts, but I had my dad pressure and also myself, like what I'm gonna do now. Like I have my son, I finished my degree. What I'm gonna do? Should I find a job in the office or what I do? And always been, like I say, independent. So I then never see myself in the office, like going there on time and all of that. Never. So thanks for my dad's support again. He said to me like, okay, let's get together. How much savings you have? let's do something you want to do. Let's get your own business. What you can do, like. And then I say to him, the only thing I know how to do properly is like managing a coffee shop. And I see my boss, who is one of my best friends as well, having the best life. And I was the manager, so I knew the sales were good. I knew how it worked. I said, okay, I want to have a coffee shop. Let's see what happens. Let's see opportunities, the spaces. And then that's how everything started, the idea. So I was doing some chief for my boss and telling him that I wanted to start a business as well. And he said he was going to help me to find a spot. And he did. He did. So that's how I got my first coffee shop. He got me in touch with the person who was selling the cafe. So I actually didn't start from zero. I bought the business.
Okay. Yeah, because that was my next question. My next question was going to be, how did you know what to do? Like the lease and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so you took over a shop.
A shop, yeah.
Yeah. And when you took over, was it successful already, or was it struggling a little bit, but you could see the potential?
Exactly. So the owner only had that cafe for a year. He's in a good spot in the city, but he didn't have any experience in hospitality. He was living in Caboolture, something far. And then he was like struggling. Like he didn't like it. He didn't know what to do. He was buying all the stuff like in a supermarket. Like he didn't know about suppliers. He didn't know anything. The sales were good. It was people coming, but it needed more work. It needed someone that actually know how the Australian coffee shops work, you know? And so my boss got offered that cafe, but he didn't want it. So he offered it to me. And he said to me, it's perfect for you to start. It's little, rent is low, and I know you can make it better. And that's how I started. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know why your boss didn't want it?
He didn't want it because he has too many.
Yeah. Okay.
And all like he has like 4 coffee shops in that moment, and he had it with a business partner. Like his brand is with a business partner. It's 2 of them, and this cafe it was very small, as I say, just for one person. Like if 2 people get it, you don't see the money.
Yeah, because you got to split the profit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And then, so yeah, you had your savings and then obviously some help with your dad, and then you bought your first one.
Yeah.
Was it scary, or were you excited? Or
yeah, it was scary because I was spending all my savings, my dad's money as well. And then my ex-husband, we were together in that moment. I like to take risk, and he's not. He's like the safe play, and he didn't want me to get it because the cafe was in a funny spot on the street next to a car park. So it looked like in any moment they could just demolish and build a building there. But it's still there now, actually, in the spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was excited. I was very young still, and full of energy, and still love to take risk.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all business. Like anyone who opens a business probably has to be willing to take risks. Yeah. Otherwise, you're never going to be, because it's always risky.
If you don't try, you don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So would you say you learned most of your business skills managing, or a bit from your dad and managing? Or like, where did you learn? Because obviously, you've gone from just managing to now fully owning and operating.
Yeah, well,
it's a big step.
Yeah, I think all my skills come from home, from my dad especially. I grew up just with my dad and my brother, and my dad always got us to work since we were in high school. We worked for him. He used to negotiate everything, even a tomato in the supermarket. He was, this tomato is got a strap, can I get it cheaper? Like he was always negotiating. And I think I got it for him. Secondly, I think university. I did a business management here. The operation subject, it was one of my favorites, to be honest.
Cool.
And obviously the experience in the coffee shop, because when I got the first day when I started trading my own, I knew exactly what I was doing, but this time was different because everything was for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got it. It was like those 3 things: the way I was raised, university, and the experience in the cafe.
Yeah. Did your dad own businesses?
Yeah, few.
Yeah. What kind?
It's mine. Yeah, coal mine.
Yeah, that's big business.
Big business, yeah, and also a construction company.
Yeah, nice. When you were purchasing and taking over the cafe, were there any major like roadblocks or obstacles that you had to sort of navigate?
nothing went wrong, but it was hard for me. All the paperwork, I still hate it. I still hate signing and filling forms. I still don't like it. So it took me a while, and going to lawyers, talking to the landlords, like get this was like a different language for me, different. Going get the stamps or so many things that government things, the counseling, how you call it, insurance, everything. So all of that was a bit challenging, but now it's so easy for me to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've done it.
Yeah, I've done
Yeah,
it.
it's interesting when you like manage something or just work for something and you think, oh, I can do this. This is easy. And then the difference between managing and owning,
Yeah.
so many
It's a lot.
things to learn, so many steps, and you go, oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was doing the operation and management, right? And there is so much behind that, so much that I didn't know, and
Yeah.
so many fees as well.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what you think. Like, oh, it's only $100,000 to buy the business, but then you forget about the $50,000 in fees.
Yeah, or I was thinking my boss was rich because I only close the till and see the sales of the day, but then I didn't know how much he has to pay in other fees. Yeah.
How did your first year go? So you bought it and it was officially yours. Did your first year
The best.
Yeah.
Best year.
Way more increase than the previous year?
Yeah, in the first week, straight away.
Yeah.
First week, the change was big. People loved it. I started opening and closing the coffee shop every day, working lots. And I have two lovely Colombian girls working for me too. And it was a perfect team. It was a happy spot, fresh products. I changed everything and started doing very well. Sales increased like 40% straight away. It was amazing. It was the best year ever. Yeah.
What were some of the big changes that you made?
The products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say product, what do you mean?
Like all the products, like bread, vegetables, fruits, all of that. He used to buy like in the shops, like the Sunday, Saturday, I don't know when the best business work because they are fresh. So I get suppliers for everything. I get bakery supplier, cold meat suppliers, vegetable suppliers, milk suppliers, always suppliers that arrive fresh every day at the door of the coffee shop.
Is it cheaper from suppliers or is it dearer or is it the same? Or because obviously it's fresher, but what about cost?
I think it's a bit expensive, but it's way
Fresh.
better. Yeah.
You were open for maybe 12 to 18 months and then COVID?
Less?
Less?
Actually, yeah, because I opened in June 2019.
Yeah.
And then COVID started in March 2020.
Big change.
Big change. Yeah.
So for you, how are you affected?
Because
you're in the CBD, so the CBD is pretty much closed.
Yeah, the good news is like coffee was essential. But the big challenge for me was that I wasn't here. I was overseas. So when COVID hit, I think it was the weekend of the 14th of March, I have to take an emergency flight to Colombia on Tuesday, the 9th of March, because my dad was very sick. And I say, okay, I gotta go. The girls took over, the three girls I have working there, and I left to Colombia. And in that weekend, all the borders closed around the world, worldwide, like all closed, and I was there. So I got stuck in Colombia for like 2 months during the quarantine and all of that. And I have the staff working, and they keep working. But then the girl who was doing the managing when I was away dealing with my dad's sickness, she said like she was scared as well to get COVID. And I say, you know what, just close because now I don't have head for that. I'm not there. I can't even come back. Like it was no flights to coming back in that time. And so we did close. We did close for a little bit, for like 4 weeks, like a month. We close.
Yeah, it's tough because you're home with your family, which is obviously nice. Bad circumstance, but nice to be with your family. But you're away from your business on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
And there was a lot happening in COVID, like so much uncertainty. Like every day, every day it changed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you get help from, because every industry was different because you were essential. Did you get help from the government?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. What about your landlord? Did you get?
As well, best landlords.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave me like 3 months free rent.
Amazing.
They was the best landlords I ever had.
That's so good. Yeah. See, I I had to pay full rent the whole time.
No.
And we were
Here.
closed. And we were
Oh,
closed.
no.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I know.
I can't believe it.
I know. Well, what they did was they said, "Oh, just don't pay now, but you have to pay it back later." So it doesn't really help.
That's not
Yeah,
help.
no.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
so bad.
I know.
I thought everyone did get help.
Nah, there was a whole thing. We could do a whole episode.
Can't
just on
believe
that.
it. Especially fitness, that you guys were the one of them. Well, everyone was affected, but you guys were very fit.
We were made to close. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so you got a little bit of help. So that what was the government help? Was it like rebates, funds?
We got like 2 big payments, I think it was, or 3. I can't remember now, but I think it was like 2 big transactions I got into my account from them.
Yeah,
It was good.
that's good. And then obviously you didn't have to pay rent. So that's the biggest killer for you, isn't it? Rent.
Yeah, and by that time I only have one cafe, which is Dash on Key, which is in North Key. So I'm next to court, lawyers, legal aid, police, which they don't stop working. So coffee was essential. I was open with the tables at the front, the distance, and there was still people in the street because they don't stop.
Yeah,
It's
of course.
all government, legal aid, court, police, lawyers, they don't stop. So that was very lucky.
So you're in a perfect spot almost.
Perfect spot.
Yeah.
And the cafe Dash is been in that street for almost 10 years. So I got it for 5 years now. This year it's 5. But before that, it's been there for 5 years. So it's like a little community we have there. All the street know us. All the street around the block. Yeah.
Little branding. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So they were always coming anyway and very supportive, and yeah.
That's nice.
Very nice people around, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess my next question was going to be, when the city opened up, did you get busier? But so even though everyone was still around you, did your revenue drop a little bit, or was it similar?
Yes,
it still dropped. Yeah.
And we were very busy. Like at the end of 2019, it was amazing for me. I have 3 employees, 4 with me, so we were 4 girls there serving. When after COVID, we were like 2 or 3 sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've kept. So now, say today, was there anything during COVID that you implemented, like any systems or anything that you still keep today that you actually found out were better?
Not really.
Not really, yeah.
Nothing was good in COVID.
Yeah, because some companies I know put new systems in place because they had to by like the laws.
Yeah, like the working from home things.
Yeah, or like they developed a new app and stuff like
Okay,
that, and then
yeah.
they're like, "Oh, this is actually better. We'll just keep doing this."
Yeah, that's true. No, we didn't. We tried something similar of what we got now. We are now in Uber Eats and we are in Eat Club. So in 2020, it was a different app similar of Eat Club, which is like little discounts and things like that, like vouchers for people around the area. So we tried that, but that company didn't, like, I don't know what happened with them.
Yeah,
They didn't continue. Yeah.
Yeah, is E-Club not around anymore?
Eat Club is.
Yeah, is that like Groupon but for food?
Yeah, you should get it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I'll get it.
Yeah, you should get it. It's good discounts there and nice restaurants there.
Yeah, and then obviously Uber and
Uber Eats,
all the other Menulog or whatever.
Yeah, but no, no, like nothing, like all the logins and all the COVID requirements. No, I didn't keep anything.
Yeah. Actually, on that, what is Uber like for you? Do you still make money? Because the margins and you got the fees and all that sort of stuff. Like, is it beneficial for you to have it, or do you have it just to be in front of people but you don't make money? What's the deal there?
We do get little money from Uber, but not much.
Is your margin smaller?
Yeah, it is because the location as well.
Yeah.
So I think Uber Eats, because I know I go to college, like got coffee shops in the suburbs, they get a lot of profit on Uber because on the weekends people order breakfast, things like that. For Uber drivers, like the delivery person as well, it's easier to pick up deliveries many different places that know in the city. I still get some deliveries, but not much.
Yeah, city's tricky because parking
plus like my open hours are Monday to Friday only. It's for business people and they just want to get out of the office. They just want to go for a walk, get their coffee. But I do get sometimes delivery from the hotels around the area.
Yeah, true. That's true because in the city, you're already up. You have clothes on, you're awake,
Yeah.
you're not hungover. Whereas at
Yeah.
home, you're like, people are drunk or they're hungover and like, I don't want to
Yeah.
get out of my pajamas.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think when you order breakfast for deliveries, when you have nothing at home, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
nothing better than cook breakfast at home.
I know, it's the best.
Yeah.
So when did you open your second cafe?
I opened my second cafe in 2022,
22. Okay.
almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that one, was that a brand new one or did you buy someone out again?
No, I started from zero.
Yeah.
So my awesome landlords from the other, from my main cafe, Dash on Key, they contacted me to give me that spot.
Did they own that one as well?
Yeah, they manage that building, so they have two different shops there, and they want me to get in one of them because they love having me as a tenant.
Because you're obviously a good tenant.
Yeah.
Pay rent on time.
Yeah, always, always. And yeah, they say they want to have a Dash on Charlotte. They say it's on Charlotte Street. So they say they got that building. They have currently there was a coffee shop there, but something happened with the tenants and they didn't want it there, and they offered me that. So I went to have a look. With this one, it took me like 4 months to decide it and negotiated. Like the negotiation was long and tough.
Yeah, I was going to say when you took over this cafe, the first cafe, you missed the part about finding the right location because the location can be a nightmare.
The most important location.
Yeah.
The most important thing is the location.
Because sometimes you find the right location. Like when I was looking for one, I was shopping and I'm like, yeah, this place is perfect. And then you look at the price and you're like, oof, that's, you kind of like, it wouldn't make sense to go there. Or location is huge.
Yeah.
So with your second one, did you take a loan or anything, or did you use that profit from the first one to make the second one?
I have my savings. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So it's doing well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's doing
Good.
well. But this one the risk was even bigger because it was like triple times the rent because of the size. It's way bigger. And the risk of COVID as well, because it was 2022 when they offered me. It was like February 2022. We weren't even open the borders.
It was still a bit grey.
Yeah. I think we opened that year at the end of the year in December. So it's still a lot of like logins, vaccination things, still lockdowns. So it was a big, big risk. But I negotiated very well. So I got
that from your dad?
Yes. Yeah, so I said, if you really want me there, this is what I want.
Yeah.
About the rent, because it's a very high rent. Right now I pay in full and it's high.
Yeah. And CBD is usually
crazy,
the most expensive. I think maybe now, like New Farm, Newstead is just as dear as CBD now.
Oh,
depending.
really?
Yeah, some places,
like
for cafes and things.
Yeah. I reckon around here.
Yeah, well,
right here.
I can tell you it's not cheap. So with your second cafe, once you were open, did you try and just copy everything from Dash to Charlotte, or did you try and do a different vibe? Or
exactly the same?
Yeah,
that's what they wanted anyway. They say they want a Dash on Charlotte, so they want me to do exactly the same business model, same fresh food concept, all of that. So it was good. It was good, and this one, I feel very proud of this second coffee shop because I did it all myself from like I got the spot, I got the shop empty. So I did absolutely everything. And I also did it after 2020 when I separated. So I was already divorced. So it was all on me. So I was busy, but I got it done.
How did you learn like the fit out? Did you get a project manager help you, like design? Did you have a vision what you wanted to look like, or was it already there and you just changed it a bit?
Yeah. So as I said before, it was already a coffee shop operating there. And it was very nice cafe actually. It needed more love. It needed my touch. So I just changed a few things, painted some walls, get some paper walls, well, old furniture. Yeah, so it was like the fit out itself. It was already for a coffee shop. So that would make it easier.
Yeah, so cheaper as well, less fit out.
Yes, but I have to get all the equipment, all furniture, all marketing done. It was good. It was fun.
Yeah, it's exciting, hey?
It is, especially when it's coming together.
Yeah, especially at the start because it's so daunting. And you're like, oh my God, I have so much to do. And then you see it start to come in place. Like the new coffee machine arrives, the new plants arrive, and you're like, oh, and you can start seeing the picture come alive.
Yeah, and I think thanks of my Colombian community here, they make it very easy for me. Like right now in Brisbane, is lots of Colombians, so we got it all. We got painters, we got carpenters, we got everything. They're all Colombian, so it's
Cheaper.
cheaper.
Friends rates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cheaper, and we work together as a team as well. So let's say I arrived with the new furniture by myself, and then the painter was working there for me. It's easier to, oh, can you please give me a hand? I just pay a bit extra, and they build all the tables, chairs, things like that I can't do myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Because it's like a nice little community because you all help each
Exactly.
other out. You're in a new country.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
like building chairs, tables, listen to music, making fun. I go out, bring beers, bring food for them. So it was nice.
That is nice.
Yeah.
How do you manage? So when you have both the cafes, do you treat them? I know obviously the books would be separate, but like when you do your managing and stuff like that, do you treat them as two separate cafes, or is there a bit of crossover?
No, two different books, two different management. Like I got now, I'm a bit more relaxed. So I got a manager in each cafe.
Okay.
A WhatsApp group for each cafe. A account with suppliers for each cafe. Yeah, all separate.
Yeah. Was it like that at the start, or did you learn?
It was my accounting advice.
Yeah. 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 Because it's tricky. What about? Okay, no, you answered my question. Because running two different cafes is a lot. When you first opened, did you have a manager in both, or was it you at both?
It was me.
And then you learned pretty quickly it's too much, hey?
Yeah. I said, I don't want to do it. I say, no, this is too much. It was confusing, especially because I had the suppliers, they are the same for both cafes. And the name of the coffee shop, they both Dash and Key, Dash and Charlotte. So sometimes it was getting like double deliveries in one place or no deliveries in the other, travel around the city. I was like a Uber driver. I was like taking things from one to the other one. So I decided that the best thing to do is just have a manager in each cafe, and not myself, because if I was calling, it was very confusing even for the suppliers as well.
Yeah.
And since I got a manager in each cafe, I got freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So before you had both managers, because obviously you had two cafes and a son.
Yeah.
Busy.
3 babies.
Yeah. 3 babies. Do you have any tips for maybe other single mums that have businesses? Like, how did you manage your time?
I manage my time very well now. Like before, it was crazy. I just couldn't train. I didn't have much time for myself. It was all for my son or the business. But right now, I manage my time with the calendar, with just everything. I put everything there. Like even if I have to come to the gym, I put my gym in the calendar. So everything by hour, all planned.
Yeah.
Like on Sunday, I know what I'm doing next Sunday already. So I think be organized is the best tip I can give. And get your sleeping, sleep there at least 7 hours. It's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And that's it.
Yeah. All right. So moving, I guess, maybe not specifically to Dash, but like general cafe questions for maybe other people who want to open a cafe, or maybe current cafe owners, stuff like that. What makes a good coffee? How do you choose the bean for you?
For me, what makes a good coffee, first of all, is the beans. You need good beans. You need specialty beans, and you need every cafe got different type of beans, stronger, lighter, darker. But first of all, the beans, and second, the barista. You need a good barista for a good coffee. If you don't know how to make a coffee, it doesn't matter if you have the best beans in the world at home, but if you don't know how to use the machine, you won't have the best coffee.
Yeah. What makes a good bean?
If they come from Colombia.
I knew you were going to say that.
If they come from Colombia, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, we have one of the best coffee in the world.
Do you have only Colombian beans in yours?
I do have 2 blends. So I got the house blend, which I designed it ages ago with my last supplier. So when I opened Dash, I created my own blend. So it's a combination of beans from Brazil, Papua New Guinea, Costa Rica, and Colombia. So it makes a very dark bean, It's a strong coffee, and it's like hazelnut finish. It's amazing. And then I got my single origin Colombian, which is they come from Colombia on the green beans. My Colombian friends and colleagues, they roasted here, and it's the best coffee in the world. I believe.
Of course.
Yeah.
What was it like creating your own blend? Was it a lot of work, like trial and error?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's hard because at the start I was trying different mixes and they all taste the same. Like you couldn't tell the difference much. So I have to spend like 2 3 weeks taking breaks to actually see difference. So I was working together with a guy that was explaining me everything, and he was very patient as well. So we did a few tastes, few countries. Nicaragua is another country that has very good coffee. Indonesia as well. And I don't know, it was missing something. It was missing something, and then when I did that mix together with this guy, I don't know, I just love it. I love it, and I'm still using that mix right now in my two businesses. And some of my Colombian colleagues who has coffee shops around South Brisbane, they will use the same one as well.
Do
Yeah.
you get a little bit from that, or
Yes.
nice?
Yes. Yeah, we all work together. We all friends, and we are all in the same industry, and we always like when we find a good supplier for desserts or pastry or things like that. We always contact this girl, blah blah blah. Like we all give tips to each other. We
Yeah.
work together.
Cool. Like I said, nice little community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does you may not know, but in general, does every coffee shop have their own blend, or do most coffee shops just stick with brands?
Depends the supplier they use as a coffee roaster. The coffee shops that have their own roaster is amazing. Like they pay low fee for coffee, and they also create their own blend. Depends on the beans they get. But I know a few cafes that the quality of the coffee is not the main thing, which is okay. It's okay because for some cafes, let's say the suburbs cafes, the main thing is the breakfast or the breakfast menu.
Yeah.
So they don't really care about the coffee. They just get any coffee that works for them, that provides a good service, or it's many different things behind that.
Yeah. That's true. Because in suburbia, and even myself, if I'm going out for breakfast, I'm not going for the coffee. Like a nice coffee is good.
Yeah.
Of course, I can tell when it's nice and when it's not.
Yes.
But you're going for the big breakfast or the
Exactly.
special dish or whatever. But especially Dash on Key, your big seller would be coffee as opposed to food, right?
Yeah, 100%. Coffee is the most important there. It's a
Yeah.
good coffee. And to pick the provider or the supplier of coffee, the coffee roasters, for me, I think for everyone, especially in the city, it comes together as well with the service they provide as our coffee roasters. Because I don't know if you know, but when we normally get the coffee machine for free, like we get the coffee machine for free, the grinders, and they comes with the service as well for free, just because we are buying the coffee from them. So for me, that's very important because coffee machines are tricky. They broke a few times a month. Again, the grinders as well depends on the weather. When it's humid, they go crazy. Things like that. Um, if you own your own equipment, just coffee machine and grinders, that means you have to find your technician, wait on the waiting list for them to get there and things like that. When coffee suppliers, coffee roasters, they got contracts with these technicians. So if something goes wrong, they come straight away.
Yeah.
They help you straight away. It's part of the contract.
Priority.
Yeah. So that service is very important at the moment of picking the beans.
Yeah. Yeah. And because they're obviously making enough money from the beans to cover the cost of the machines to give to you.
Yeah.
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 With Key, you obviously sell a little bit of food, but not a lot.
They both sell food. Yeah. Both.
Do you sell more at Charlotte than you do at Key?
Dash and Key is busier. Both ways, coffee and food. Yeah.
How do you choose what food you want? Is it based on like the kitchen that you have, the type of chef or staff, or?
Yeah. So in my coffee shops, we don't have kitchen. We don't cook. So the license is more preparation. And the menu was made based on the coffee shop I used to work. Yes. So it's more like hit and go products. So we sell paninis, grabs, salads, bacon and grabs, croissants, toasties, all of this food that you just heat up and go. all for business people. And that's what most of the coffee shops sell in the city, because they just need fast things, we get a lot of people that come say, hey, can I get a full breakfast menu, and you got poached eggs or things like that. We don't do that. It's a different concept.
Yeah, it's not your market.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, in the city, you've got restaurants right next to you that you want to sit down.
Especially in the morning. I think everyone in the city is in a rush. So there is not many people who wants to sit down and have a proper breakfast. Lucky for some, they can do that.
They want to get off the train,
get
grab the coffee, grab their wrap, go to work, eat it on the way. Yeah. Do you prepare the food yourself, or do you have a supplier that brings like the paninis and stuff ready made, and then you just?
So for the bacon and egg wrap, because you got bacon and egg, is cooked. So we do have a supplier. They come 4 days a week to deliver. And then for the paninis, we got panini bread supplier, vegetable suppliers, cold meat suppliers, and we build it there. So that's our license allow us to prepare. So we build everything fresh every day, the salads as well, and toasties, croissants. So we get the croissants and then we open them, put the ham, cheese, and all of that. Yeah, preparation.
Yeah, food is quite trendy. Like different food products that become trending. How do you stay on top of the trends, or because of your type of cafe, you just stick to the same paninis, wraps, croissants?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I in the last year, this year I haven't. Well, it's only May, but I haven't changed anything in the menu. But in the last year, I tried to get new products like pulled pork burger, because we could get the pulled pork already made and just heat it up, and it was easy for us to do it with our license. Other kind, like I got like 3 different products I launched in the menu, and the people just didn't buy it. Like they try it, and then just 1 customer, 2 customers a week or things like that, which for me is not good, because I have all the products there, which I have to throw away if they expired. Things like so. I don't know. I think the people just stick with the same. We get people that just buy exactly the same every single day of their life. Like we know what they're eating, we know what they're drinking. Like it's this what they do.
I mean, that's helpful in one way, because you know what to order every week. You know the right amount.
Yes.
Have you ever brought anything in and then it became a hit? Everybody loved it?
The Colombian arepas. So I sell the best Colombian arepas in Brisbane.
What's that?
Well, I think they are the best. I don't make
it. What is it? Sorry.
Arepa.
Yeah.
Do you know what is an arepa?
I mean, maybe, but I don't know the name.
Arepa is a Colombian cheesy bread. It's like a round bread. Like it's made of corn flour, so it's even gluten-free. It comes with lots of cheese on the inside.
It does sound delicious.
It's a typical Colombian dish, the arepa. In Colombia, you can put anything in the arepa. Pulled pork, beef, chicken. You can put anything
it's almost like a bagel kind of, but like a cheesy bagel, no?
I wouldn't say a bagel, but yeah, so you can put whatever you want in the arepa. So we sell them in my coffee shops, and they sell very well. All the Australians love it, and I think it's my main product. It's a very authentic Colombian arepa.
There you go. You heard it here first.
I need to bring one for you next time.
How do you create a good atmosphere in a cafe?
I think the atmosphere in the coffee shop is amazing. I love it. First of all, because I think it's important to have happy people, like loud music, happy music. And always, I always encourage the guys to treat themselves between them with care. Like, even if sometimes someone is having a bad day, I say hey, relax, have a chocolate, things like that. Because it's a coffee shop, it's not that stressful. It's not that stressful. So I think we always have good days. Even sometimes myself, when I wake up with the left foot, I go to the coffee shop and they make me happy there.
Yeah. It's like a little, it's your mum coming out, like your little family.
Yeah. And some people, they are having bad days at work and they just come down for us to get a smile and relax as well. So we always keep happy music, some Latin music on as well.
Of course.
We change genres, but and always treat the consumers with, I always tell them to be a bit loud, like say, good morning, how are you? Like being loud and happy, because then even if the person is having a bad day, most of people just like that and straight away give them a smile or something.
Yeah.
We got the angry people as well, but
Yeah.
it's more the happy people, and they mix with us, or there is people that come there and dance or ask the name of the question or start practicing Spanish with us. So the atmosphere is always great in the coffee shop. I love that.
Good. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to be grumpy if someone's like, morning, how you going? Like you're like a bit of a dick if you like, if someone's
Exactly.
nice to you and then you have to be nice back. Like it's infectious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got some people that they
Of course. Yeah. If you're having a
just give me
bad,
my copy.
like we had like bad days and you're like,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Anything
Yeah.
else? So like some music, happiness,
Smiles.
good vibes, smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. What kind of promotions or maybe the stamp cards or whatever do you do that keeps your clients? Because you said, you know, you've got a lot of regulars for 10 years now, obviously
Yeah.
quite successful. Do you do like stamp cards or how do you get clients in? How do you keep them?
Yeah, so we use our loyalty cards. So every 7 coffees, you get one for free. We also got the second option, which is more VIP. We call the prepay cards. So let's say someone like you, like me, like we always drink the same coffee. So they pay in advance. They pay in advance, I think it's 10 coffees on the card. And you pay a bit less if you pay in advance. So it's like a different card, different color. And it says prepay VIP card. They pay in advance their 7 or 10 coffees, and it has their coffee order and their name on it. So when they come, they just show it to me and it's stamp, and they made the coffee. They don't have to pay, and there is already a discount there. So people who buy the same coffee every day and comes to us every day, that's one of the options they like the most. We do also like gift cards for people between the office. Like they always, oh, someone's birthday, they want to give them a gift card for some value. We have free coffee cards as well. And we do a lot of deals with the food. So we got toasty and coffee deal, ham and cheese croissant and coffee, and banana bread and coffee. And they were forever. Like we got them forever when the coffee, instead of costing them like $5, it costs like $3.50 or $4. So it's very worth it because they get the breakfast and the coffee all together. So it's like the breakfast deals we call.
Yeah.
I got a lunch deal as well, and they stay there forever. Like I got them there.
Yeah. Because they work, right?
They work very well.
Yeah. How do you work out? I mean, it seems like an obvious question, but let's just say your coffee's normally $5, your bread's normally $5. I'll just make it up. So $10, and you go $8.50. You obviously work out where your margins are because you want to keep some profit margins, but you also want to make it appealing.
Yeah, it's
right?
very hard to calculate because then when you have a coffee, you have the coffee, the milk, you have the cap, the lid. So it's very hard to calculate. So yeah, it's just a tricky equation I do, but I always get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With your, I guess, all your products, because obviously the economy is a bit crazy right now, inflation and all that sort of stuff. Have you found your cost of goods have increased, or has it remained pretty similar?
100%.
Yeah.
Everything? Increasing, everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots.
Yeah. And then how long do you normally try and not pass that cost on to the consumer?
I don't get that question.
So your costs have gone up.
Yeah.
Do you put your coffees up straight away? Or do you try and wait a little bit and absorb some of the costs yourself and then be like, I can't do it anymore, I have to put my prices up?
I try to put the prices up just once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go on Christmas holiday and then you come back and woo, there's new prices.
Yeah.
But I reckon everyone do the same.
Of course.
In the coffee industry. I reckon if you change the coffee, especially coffee price, twice a year, that's a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your suppliers change their price? Like produce is probably a bit different because it depends on the crops and stuff. But say like your beans and milk and stuff, that should be pretty steady, right?
Yeah, the beans are pretty steady. The milk is been changing heaps, like 2-3 times a year.
Up.
It's
never down, is it?
Yeah, never down. I wish.
Yeah. And so that's something that you obviously have to factor into your calculations because if milk used to be $2 a bottle, now it's $2.50. That's 50 cents every time. And you can't put your prices up till Christmas. So you have to just absorb that cost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try not to change. I always change this. I think when I opened my first cafe in 2019, I didn't change the prices until after COVID. Yeah, because it was good. Everything was good. Prices were good. The profit was good. I didn't change it, but then after COVID, I have to.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
COVID changed everything.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's still changing.
still.
How do customers respond to the change? So you just said, they go on holiday, especially in the city, because the city is pretty quiet over Christmas and stuff. I'm guessing you maybe close or
Yeah, we close just before Christmas Day. Yeah, Christmas Eve, and we reopen like the second week of January
Yeah.
every year. So we get 2 weeks off.
Yeah. And so you come back, let's say you change your prices. Do people notice or
Yeah,
some, or like how sharp are
yeah.
people?
Only like one or two people just go back. Yeah, like, oh, it's changing. No, it's too much. And they left.
Right.
Yeah, but I always do like targets study around the area. How you say, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I always try to manage. We always around the, like, all the cafes around the area got the same prices, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people respond very well. Some people actually used to say, "Oh, good, you finally did it," and
Yeah.
but just few customers, like one or two customers, that walk away.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's there's always going to be people that don't like change.
but it's very little. I think
Yeah.
this year, because I always ask, say, "Oh, what they say about the change and the increase," and just like think we got two people in one cafe and then one person in the other cafe that just didn't like it and walk away.
That's 3 people
Yeah.
out of 100.
Yeah,
How many customers would you get a day roughly?
around 300, 350,
Yeah.
depends. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's very good.
So if someone, maybe a barista, right? Actually, before this question, let's go back. What makes a good barista?
What make a good barista, I think, is someone who actually cares about the process of making the coffee, because you can't skip, or you cannot do the milk first and then throw the shot in there. It doesn't mix the same, doesn't give you the same texture. So you gotta follow the operation line to make a good coffee. And someone who cares, like someone who cares about what they're doing, like not doing fast, caring about deliver a good coffee. I always say to my staff, if the shot isn't good, if the milk is not good or is overheat, just do it again. Just do it again, but never ever deliver a bad coffee.
Yeah. It's almost like you've got to want to be making it for yourself every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So for someone like me, well, I worked a coffee machine at the kebab shop for like 2 seconds. But let's say someone like me, because I don't really know and lots of people don't. What are some things that go wrong? Like you touched on, the shot has to be in there for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
What are some things that can go wrong that make the coffee bad? Like people talk about burnt coffee.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Burnt coffee is when the shot goes for too long. So the machine is always going to show you the seconds. So after 32, 33 seconds, for me in my business, is a bad shot. It's been there for too long. It's been in the heat for too long. So it will give you a little of burnt taste. And if from a normal shot start to be good after 23 seconds, otherwise it's too wordy or doesn't taste as good. You don't feel like the rich flavor of coffee. If you deliver a shot with 19 seconds, for me it's poor. So in my cafe, we get the shots out from like 23 seconds to 32, let's say.
Yeah.
For be a good shot. Yeah.
And then I guess where it comes in is because you have 3 or 4. Like,
3 groups.
Yeah.
3.
So if you're not watching one burns while you're not looking at the other. And
No, you have to always look the shot.
Yeah.
And then normally it's that one person on the shots, and then is one person on the milk.
Yeah, because you heat the milk up, right?
Yeah.
And do you have a thermometer for that? Like what's the process there?
Well, some people who doesn't have much experience, they use thermometers. There is also some like stickers thermometers that show in the jar of the milk jar. But for experienced baristas, you just know.
You can feel it?
You feel it. And also the noise, like the noise that the steamer made. Yeah, I think you just know. For me, I know because of the sound of the steamer.
Yeah, because you're experienced.
And the texture. Like you look at the coffee jar, the milk jar, I mean, the milk needs to look like kind of satin, like, I don't know, it's beautiful. Like nice and shiny, no bubbles.
Yeah.
So when it's like a full bubbles, it's like bad coffee. Bad milk, I mean milk.
Yeah. Because coffee kind of is an art, isn't it?
It is. And it's tricky to learn. Like it is. Some people think it's easy, but it's not.
Yeah.
If you want to make a good coffee, it's not that easy. It needs practice. And also what make a good barista, I think, is also the mood, the attitude. You need to be happy. You don't
Yeah.
want an angry barista. You don't want an angry, moody barista.
Do you feel like it comes out in the coffee? Like your attitude?
Not in the coffee,
No.
I don't think, but it's like the experience.
Yeah.
Like if you see a nice, happy person, smiley person, clean person also making your coffee, you're waiting for your coffee, like you make the experience nice.
Yeah.
But if you see that the guy or girl who's making your coffee is hungry and dirty and he has, I don't know, bad nails or things like that, you just don't even want that coffee anymore,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, of course. I come back to what you were saying before about the atmosphere and the vibe of the cafe.
I reckon coming to a place to get a service, a coffee shop, restaurant, or bar, is all about experience from the start to finish. For me,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
So is the product, yes, but it's also the service and everything. It's everything. It's the whole experience.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, if you go to like a takeaway restaurant, you get what you pay for, right? Like it's $10 for the meal, you know. But if you're going to a nice restaurant, you want to be served. You want the atmosphere to be nice. You want to, it's an experience.
Yeah, it's a group of little details that make the full experience, and then you can give them a rate. You know?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
How? Okay, no. Back to the question that I was going to ask. I got distracted. So, if someone's barista right now, or manager, or whatever, what's some tips that you would say to them if they were looking to open their own?
Do it. Just do it. Take the risk. My major tip is the location, I think. Find the right spot, always. And then if you get the right spot and you see that it's people around, you need to find a spot with lots of people around. If there is people, there is business. Find great location and take the risk. Don't be scared and just follow your intuition, you know, because some people, some family members, partners, best friends, close friends, they can tell you, no, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, finance matters, numbers matters, but I think you always know. You know if it's going to work or not. Like, just follow your intuition.
Yeah, follow your gut.
Your gut, yeah.
What makes a good location in your mind? People, obviously, so foot traffic.
For me, the most important is people. And it also depends on business you want to have. Like, for me, my business is business people. So I want a lot of buildings around. I don't mind if there is, like, in each building got their own cafe. Some buildings got even 3 coffee shops. I don't mind. If the buildings are full of people, they're going to pick what they want. So you're always going to get people, yeah.
And it's your job to stand out, to be different, to have the atmosphere, to make them want to come.
Yeah, and I think the difference between my cafes and the cafes around the area is a little bit the Colombian vibe, because all my employees are from Colombia, and some people say, oh, let's go to Dash, but some people say as well, and most of the people say, oh, let's go to the Colombian cafe. Yeah, which is great.
That's
I don't mind.
Nice. Yeah,
I don't mind.
Because they're saying it in a nice way.
In a nice way.
Yeah.
I always get very nice comments, very nice people. Always nice people.
Good.
Yeah.
So that leads me into my next question, because hospitality workers, generally there's a high turnover. Like people work there for a couple of months and then they go to somewhere else or whatever. You've had the same staff for a while.
Yeah.
And how have you managed to keep that staff? So obviously they're all being Colombian helps a little bit because you're like family. You talked about like you all look out for each other. What are some other things you would say to someone who has a cafe or any business to keep your staff? Like what are some things you do?
Good management. Good management means keep them happy with their hours, like be organized, because if you have a disorganized boss, you don't want to be there either, you know? So I always try to, when I hire someone, I say, you're going to do from 20 to 24 hours. And I always try to just keep those hours for them, keep them happy with the hours, good pay rate as well. I always try not to pay like the legal one. I pay like two or one more level. Yeah, I think it's about hours. Everyone wants that, especially because all my staff are international students. So it's all about the hours. How many hours, and the good pay, and keep the nice vibe, keep them happy.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky that I got employees working for me for 3 years, 2 years. And when they leave, like one of my biggest loss, which was Valeria, who was the manager of Dash when I was in COVID and all of that. She was like my main girl. She left because she opened her own cafe.
Yeah.
So
In the city?
No, she's in what is she? She's in Eagle Junction train station.
Oh,
Go.
yeah.
Yeah. So when normally when they go from Dash, when they leave Dash, is because they are doing something better for the futures. I don't think I had a fire people, maybe one or two, but always that's because it's not going to work. Let's leave it here.
Yeah.
Because they late or something like that. But always friendly with them. They always became my friends.
Yeah. Does that make you a little bit proud that was it Valeria?
Valeria.
Yeah. She opened her own because like that means you taught her.
Yeah, I inspire her.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
Yeah. I help her as well. I help her heaps with ideas. I go and visit her often as well. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good.
What are some big lessons you've learned in the last, I guess, 5 years for coffee? Like maybe business lessons?
Well, I learned how to manage time. Oh, lessons.
So that's time management is a lesson.
Yeah,
big time. Some people don't have time management.
Yeah, be organized. I think be organized is the best you can do. Yeah. Also, how to talk to people. I think when I was a bit younger, I have this problem. My personality was I always have a strong personality, but before it was more than strong. It was a bit explosive. Now I can think before talk because I have to deal with people. Now at the moment I'm dealing with 12 employees. Yeah. So I think it's very, very good skill I got now thanks of my business.
Yeah. Do you think that came from like a Colombian culture or just being younger and then growing up and realizing you're a manager and stuff and just learning to like breathe before you act?
I think it's about Colombian culture. No, because you can get explosive people in every culture. But maybe a little bit of that. But mostly just my personality was always very explosive and
because you were saying crazy before like there's big patience difference and stuff.
Yeah. No, now I think before I talk.
Smart. Something I learned still.
No, at work now, and it's very professional as well if you learn that. When before, like say with Valeria, because we worked together for a long time, I didn't say things to her in a nice way, in a good way. I don't need to be nice, just saying good way. And she tells me like, oh, I didn't like how you talk to me. And I ended up apologizing, even if I was the boss. So I think thanks of that long relationship with her as a boss and manager, teach me now how to talk to everyone and respect everyone and think first. And instead of being bossy, just being a leader.
Yeah. When you were looking at your first cafe, did you ever think about like buying a franchise, or were you always going to open your own one or a small one?
Never thought about buying one. No.
Yeah.
No, because I knew how to do my own, and look at now I got two,
yeah,
so
of course.
I can't even.
Yeah, definitely.
Not even with my own friends, guys.
Yeah, that was my next question. Was you just did a new fit out?
Yeah.
Which one? Sorry.
The Norquay.
Yeah.
My main one.
Yeah. What do you have any visions in maybe a year or two or whatever for a third one or?
Yeah, expanding is in my plans. Definitely, maybe open one or two more. This year I got an offer for another cafe, but I put it on hold because I want to go back to school. Not to school. I want to do like some course. I want to study again. Mm-hmm. And maybe next year is on my vision to have maybe one or two more cafes. No more than 4 in total because it's a lot of work.
Why? Yeah, too much work?
It's a lot of work, and it becomes a lot of government fees and bus and all of that. So I think if I find a balance and profit in 3 or 4, I can live happy and relax. But no more because I'm by myself as well. I don't have a business partner who can help me to deal with accounting or things like that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot,
Yeah,
a lot. And I also, like, as a mom, I enjoy my free time with my son.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you, like, say if you want to go 2 more maximum,
Yeah,
would you stick to CBD in a CBD? Or would you?
definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Is
Yes,
that?
well, it doesn't have to be CBD, but Milton now is like a business street
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
42 Valley is also office around. Yeah, Monday to Friday.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Monday to
Stick to
Friday.
yeah.
Stick.
More coffee as opposed to food and stuff. Like the
Yeah,
same
more
model.
like a hit and go food. Yeah, that's like what I know. That's what I know how to do,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and it works good for me.
Of course, yeah.
And weekends free.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the big one too, because
Yeah.
then you have weekends free for Paolo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and for myself.
yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, we move to the final 3 questions that I have for everybody. So, what is one piece of advice that somebody's told you? Could be anything, life, business, anything that's really stuck with you.
If you never try, you will never know.
Yeah.
That one. That's
Agreed.
my favorite.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Besides Paolo, of course, what's been the highlight of your like career or life so far?
Moving to Brisbane.
Moving to Brisbane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I became an Australian citizen.
Yeah. Because it's just other opportunities, or?
I just love my life here. I feel more useful here. Like, I do everything by myself here, and that makes me proud and makes me stronger and the woman I am. If I never came to Australia, it probably would be very different. Colombia is very different culture, and here I feel more alive.
Awesome.
So being in here is like the second highlight of my life.
It's good. That's nice.
Yes.
And then last one, you sort of touched on it, maybe expand a bit more. What's next on your vision board? So you want to go back to school? What do you want to study?
I want to do like a course of leadership and what's the word?
Apprenticeship?
Yeah. And
entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw one of those. And I was also thinking about something like a marketing, just to work together with my business, because I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
And but I just want to study something in the next 6 months, just to go back to school, some reading, writing, to keep improving my English, because I think it's going
Your
backwards.
English is good.
It's going backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's going backwards?
Because of Colombians.
You speak too much Spanish or what?
Yeah, I feel like I speak in Spanish all day.
Yeah.
Now, before it wasn't like that.
What's the girls at work's English like?
What is that, sir?
The girls at work, how good is their English?
Oh, no, they need to have fluent English, no basic.
Yeah. Maybe you should make an English only rule.
Doesn't work. We have a French girl working with us once, and I was like, English, please, English, English. And then at the end, the French girl started speaking Spanish.
Oh, no. I mean, that's cool, but...
Yeah, and then she became like a Colombian one. She was going out with us, like singing, dancing, all the Latin music. I was like, no.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's very funny. It's very funny, and I try to get even Australian students to work in the coffee shops, different kind of nationalities, Asians, but it just never, they never, like, it's just different. Like, it's good because then no one talks. Everyone is quiet, but it's frustrating for the new person, because they just speak in Spanish all day. Yeah. So yeah, I stopped doing it. Now I just hire Colombians.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a Colombian cafe.
It works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite.
Of course. I've had a pleasure listening to your story. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Sam.
And I wish you all the best for future dashes.
Thank you. Please come and visit.
Of course.